Hello, y'all. It is your girl Bridget. How is everybody doing today? I hope this video finds you well and swell. Okay, so today I noticed y'all. First of all, I noticed I've been doing that a lot while I've been talking, and that's smacking my lips. So y'all forgive me if that is something that is annoying, because I noticed it myself. I am my biggest critic. You know that? I'm my biggest critic. But one of my perimenopausal things is dry lips. So I'm constantly doing that. I'm constantly licking my lips because I cannot stand the dry things. And I have so many things for my lips in here. Let's see. It's me digging for my aquaphor on my video here, but I don't know what I did with it. But it's not back here with me. So if y'all see me licking my lips or smacking my lips while I'm talking, that's because I done licked my lips and I'm just trying to keep some moisture going on the lips. Because when you're speaking, if you ever been a speaker, you know that is something that happens. It happens to me extra. Okay, y'all. It's December the 8th, 2025. And today is what I affectionately call my rebirth day. And I was talking to, I was talking to my daughters earlier. And for me, it's a rebirth day. But for them, it is a traumatic day. Something that reminds them of a very painful day of what happened to their mama when they were little children. And if you can imagine, I'll take you there and give you a little bit of the story, because I feel the importance of sharing my story, because I know some people don't like to hear it. But if you don't like to hear it, that's the great thing about the internet. You have the option to click me off. I am an overcomer of domestic violence from not just one man, but several men, because I had a lack of love for myself, and it showed in everything I did concerning the man. It did. And also, I am a giver. I'm a passionate person. If I tell you that I care about you, I care about you. I'm not a person that makes that type of thing up. So I'm going to go the distance, until you show me that I shouldn't go the distance anymore. And after that, I'm done. So basically, December 8th of 2008, I went to work. I worked for the Waffle House at the time. I worked on the morning shift. I went to work that day, and that was a pivotal year because it was the year that Barack Obama, our first black president, was elected. And so the Waffle House was packed. A lot of people was there. The buzz was on, talking about he had got elected, and people were all happy. I'm in Atlanta, so that is the black Mecca. And so everybody was excited about President Obama being elected. Plus, it's the Waffle House in the morning. They don't need a reason for good breakfast. They come. So I'm working my tables, and also what's going on in my life at that time. A guy that I was dating at that time, I was dating him for the second time around because I had given him another opportunity to come back and show me that he had changed. Y'all, I met this guy when I was living in a transitional home. And the rules of the transitional home, we had our own apartment. We lived amongst regular people, so nobody knew we were in a program or whatever, because we just lived in regular apartments. And it was a nice neighborhood, but their rules were you could not have men in your apartment. And they would come, they had the right to come in your house at any point in time. So they could open the door and check, and if somebody was in your house after a certain time, man or woman, you would be in trouble. And so I met him around that time, and I explained to him, you know, in that situation that, you know, he couldn't come see me at my house because he wasn't allowed there because of the program. So me, wild and crazy back then, because I liked him so much, I decided that I was going to leave the program for a couple of reasons. One, I couldn't have male company. Two, I wanted a job that this company was saying they did not recommend I take, because the job would have taken me away from my children too much. And they promoted mothers getting jobs that were going to support them having family time. And they would rather you stay in the program longer to get the type of job that you really needed instead of just accepting anything. At that time of my life, I didn't understand it. I felt like they were trying to control, you know, what I was doing, making my decisions for me, and I didn't like that. So I left the program. I took my children to their fathers. I left the program, and I moved out with this guy that I've met. Okay, so fast forward back to December 8th of 2008. This is me dating him for the second time around, because we had broken up prior to this date, because we moved out, and eventually first we stayed in a extended stay hotel, and we stayed there so long it was just not a good place to be. If you from Atlanta, then you know about the Mosley Motel on Fulton Industrial. This is where we were staying. And y'all know, if you are from Atlanta, you know what went on at the Mosley Motel. It wasn't that good at all. And so I stayed with him there, and I worked at Emory at the time. And I got with him because he had an extra car, and I felt like that could help me, you know, get more secure on my own, because I could use his car to go to work. So I'm not looking at the big picture now. In hindsight, I'm just like, girl, you was crazy. Because I was. Beyonce is not the only one that was crazy in love. I've been there. So I stayed with him, and we eventually get an apartment that he said was one of his family members' apartment, but it was way out in Gwinnett County. So I'm moving from Atlanta all the way out to Gwinnett County, almost to I guess y'all I don't know, for those of y'all that's from Atlanta, y'all know Gwinnett is far from Fulton County, down on Fulton Industrial. Okay, so we move all the way out there, and we're supposedly in one of his family members' apartment, and everything, I found out everything that he had been telling me, y'all, was lies. It was total lies. So I told y'all my children were with their father. So the two of them were in Alabama. My youngest two, which are my ex-husband's children, and my oldest daughter was in Atlanta with her dad. And from time to time, if my children are not with me, I'm going to talk to their daddies, because that's what my children are. So I'm going to talk to their daddies. So he would get angry when I would get on the phone with their dad, because he felt like something else was going on. And he would get jealous, and he would get angry, and it would cause a big fight. And so I got tired of it one day, and I started walking away, because I'm like, at this point, I have already made a fool of myself in a relationship. So I take what I can grab, and I just start walking down the street. This man gets in his car and comes behind me and literally tries to run me over in the car. I'm walking on the sidewalk, so I had my phone in my hand. I dialed 911, and I hold it up so he could see that I called 911. When he saw that I called the police, he sped off and left me. So here I am walking down the street in Gwinnett County just trying to find somewhere to go so that I can call somebody to help me. So that's the first part. We're going to come back up to 2008. So I take him back, and in this time that I take him back, a month prior to December, I had just moved into this apartment. And I tell him, I'm not putting you on my lease because I don't believe that you changed. I'm just giving you a chance to show me that you changed, because naturally he didn't have anywhere to go after I left him alone. I went back to Alabama and everything, got myself together, and I came back to Georgia. I come back, I get in the apartment, I'm back working. So one thing about me, I'm going to get back to where I need to be at the time that I need to be there, and I did what I need to do. So I told him, you got 30 days to come up with your half of the rent. And at that time, y'all, my rent was only $750, so he had to give me half of that. I didn't tell him to pay the whole thing. I told him to give me half. And I felt like that was fair. We're the adults in the house. You can give me half on the rent. Well, mind you, everybody know rent is due between the 1st and the 5th, right? It's December the 8th, and he hadn't gave me his money. So I had already found me a bailout plan. I was going to let one of my coworkers from my job rent out my bedroom. I was going to give him my bedroom and let him rent it out. I would sleep on the couch, and he would be my roommate until I could, sustain myself, and he could sustain himself. And if it worked out, we would go a little longer. But I was going to do that to replace this money that this man wasn't giving me. And I also told him he had to leave. So I'm at work on December the 8th, 2008. And he is calling me incessantly because I've texted him and told him, when you get back, you need to pack your stuff. You got to go. Because I told you had 30 days to get your act together. It's not together. And I'm not going to give you another chance to have me messed up in this situation. You got to go. And so his answer to me was, I'm playing with him. I was not playing with him. Like, you are not being responsible. And at this point in my life, I'm sick of my own crap. And I'm tired of, being in a position where a man is taking me down and not helping me come up. Like, if a man is going to be in your life, that man needs to help you. He needs to help you. That's just, like, if a man is going to be a companion, especially live in your house, a man in your house being your companion and not helping you, that's crazy. Don't do that. Young ladies, don't do that to yourself. Please. Take it from me, don't do it to yourself. So, I make it through work. I get off around 2. I get home about 3 from work. I'm in the kitchen, and I'm getting ready to cook. I'm on my phone, on the house phone. Y'all that remember house phones? I had my house phone, and I'm stretching the house phone across the kitchen, talking to my homegirl, telling her, girl, this man been blowing my phone up all day long because I told him he got to leave. And she knew what he had done prior to now. She didn't feel I was safe, and I was like, oh, I'll be all right. He just going to come get his stuff and leave. And while I was standing in the kitchen, y'all, I did not hear this man come in the house. He still had a key to the door. So this is how he come in. He came in so quietly that I'm on the phone, and I did not hear him even open the door to my house. And I turn around, and he's standing behind me. So he knocks me to the floor. He straddles me, and he tell me, what did I tell you about playing with me? And now he got his hands around my neck. And I'm like, I'm not playing with you. I'm telling him to get off of me. But I'm short, and this man is about 6 feet tall. So he straddles me across my chest, so I can't get up. Like, I'm on the floor of my kitchen. And he straddles me. He basically pins me to the floor. And he strangles me until I spit blood in his face. And he ultimately crushed my trachea. And so now I am on the floor of my kitchen. and my body is going down. All my organs are crashing. I'm defecating on myself. I was dying, y'all, on the floor of my kitchen. And in the middle of all this, my oldest daughter, which is my daughter that I told y'all I talked to today, and one of my daughters, well, I was talking to both of them, but my oldest daughter specifically told me, because she was there with me in the house. She came home from school in the middle of him doing this to me. So I had to crawl to the door because I couldn't walk. I'm literally, and every time I do that, blood is coming up. So at the time, Waffle House shirts were gray, just like this gray. And my whole shirt is covered in blood. And my daughter sees that I'm covered in blood. So when I open the door, not only am I covered in blood, my neck had swollen up. It was probably out here. It was crazy, y'all. I looked like something out of a scary movie. My neck was swollen up so bad. And it scared her so bad so she just started screaming. And he told me before I opened the door that if I told her what he did, he was going to kill both of us. So now I'm a mama. At this time, my whole mind is, I got to keep my child safe. I don't care what he do to me. I got to keep my child safe. But here I am, y'all. 17 years later. 17 years later. It didn't work. He wanted to take me away from my children. So my children, this day is not a good day for them. But I told him today, you know, I had to, for my healing, I had to take the power back in this day and not allow this day to be a memorial, because I'm still here. God has purpose. God has purpose for me. My life means something in this world. I value my life now. I value my work. I value the gift of God that's on the inside of me. I value the ability to be able to share with you all on social media. I'm not talking just to hear myself talk, because I could be doing something else. I am in my truck in the mountains of Virginia. It's cold. It's snowing. I could be asleep. I could be scrolling on TikTok. I could be doing a number of things, but I'm here hoping that something I'm saying is going to resonate with somebody that may be just like me. I was 31 years old. And I felt like, you know, I had so many feelings. I felt like I had failed. Here I am. I'm not married. I'm with somebody that I didn't really trust. But I had to pick myself up again, y'all. I had to start over again. And I was never afraid to start over. But that moment, that situation, I was in the hospital a month and some days healing the first time. I went home and I got sick again. Had to go back in the hospital again for another almost 2 months. And the process of me healing, this is how I lost my front teeth, because a doctor at UAB, shout out to Dr. Castellanos at UAB. He was an ear, nose, I don't know if he's still alive. I got to look him up. But he was an ear, nose, and throat doctor, and he learned a procedure in Germany where they taught him how to do work on the trachea to help people not have to live with artificial trachs. And I was his first patient to do the surgery on in the United States. And God used that man to help save my life. I lost my front teeth, but I breathed on my own. This is my scar. This is my scar. And you can't hardly see them anymore. But I had notches around this scar where the plate of a trachea was literally secured to my neck. It was one of the hardest things I have ever been through in my life. But here I am on the other side. My life looks totally different. My life is so much better. My children are grown now. I got 2 grandbabies. One of my grandbabies' birthday is tomorrow. So I have another reason to celebrate. And both of my grandbabies actually are born in December. We celebrated their birthdays early since some of us won't be there on their actual birthday. I got December grandbabies. They're both, one is December the 9th and the other is December 23rd. So my Zuri Judah, his birthday is tomorrow. He'll be 3 years old. I live to see my children grow up, and my oldest daughter has grandchildren and she's a wife. God allowed that blessing to be on my life. The weapon formed, but it did not prosper. It did not prosper. So today is what I affectionately call my rebirth day. So happy rebirth day to me. And this has been your Vlogmas for today. I hope something that I shared with you helps you. And if you want to read more about some of my other stories, because I got more stories, y'all, that ain't even the only one. You are looking at a walking miracle. Yeah, I have books on Amazon. Look me up, Bridget Yelder. The main book that I wrote that tells the story is called I Got Away. I got away and I stayed away. And now, you know, it's still a journey in not putting myself out there so much for somebody that's not going to return that love to me. But I'm in a much better place now. I'm a single empty nester and I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that God chose me. He chose me to be the one to still be here to share this message with you. So happy rebirth day to me. I hope you all be blessed this holiday season, and I'll see y'all tomorrow for my next video. Bye.